All right, I've been using the C9 screen for a few days now, but I think my favorite thing about it is getting in and seeing that startup animation video welcome you. This reminds me of the times right before my delivery day where you're looking at the website, watching all the videos. It's very nostalgic. Hey guys, Evander here, back with another video, and today I have a very exciting install for you. This is the C9 CarPlay dashboard touchscreen from Test Studio. Thank you so much, Test Studio, for sending this over for review. This is essentially a CarPlay screen that is going to sit right about here on my dashboard. It is going to tap into the sensors of the dashboard, the OBD2 port, and two side front door panels. So this is going to be able to show me speedometer information, vehicle, door open, closed information. I'm not entirely sure of its capabilities, so I'm really excited to put this thing in with my same old code, RedKnave20. It's going to get you 30% off for a very limited time for the holiday season, so be sure to take advantage of that. Test Studio is the only people selling this right now, so they are first to the market to sell this C9 screen. Again, it ain't gonna last forever. RedKnave20. So, the Honsho digital rear view mirror. So far, that was my most complicated install. I'd say that was pretty advanced. This, we will see. I reviewed the installation manual. I've watched their installation video. I'm gonna be the first to actually make a customer install video. It doesn't seem that difficult. It's just a bunch of cables, plugging them in here and there. I suppose the scariest part is popping off some trim. But again, from what I've seen, just a few pins, a few bolts, nothing too crazy. This mirror was very difficult because working around these wires and sensors, holding things, very difficult. It seems like this can be done totally solo. You don't need a helper for this one. But I will, of course, inform you of my installation process. This should be easy as butter after you watch my video. But yeah, very excited to get this thing in. So let's just jump right into it. And if you want to skip to the end and see the finished install and my final thoughts, go right ahead. Otherwise, be sure to stay tuned so you can see the full install process. All right, let's start on step one, which is removing some driver's side trim and then the dashboard. So let's hop over there. All right, if you watched my T-Sport line install of this MagSafe charger, this is going to look familiar. We need to open up this area first. And I probably should have watched my own video because I know there was a trick to this and I don't remember what it was. I think I just needed to find those couple pins in here. There's one. There's two. And I believe this swung like counter. No, it's clockwise. Clockwise. Okay. There's one more pin. I'm just going to leave it plugged in since it's staying put. Pop this out a bit. Can still see my T-Sport line wire job. And then now I need to pop this up. I think I might be able to do that with my fingers. I just looked at the Tesla service manual and there's just a whole lot of clips under this thing. 19 clips, and it just has arrows in the upward position. So I just applied a bunch of pressure and it seemed, oh yeah, there we go. That was the trick. Just push straight up and there's 19 clips. They all should release. Much easier than I thought. I should have looked at the service manual first. Lesson learned. I need to go the other side and sort of repeat the same thing. So let's hop over there. Alrighty, passenger side. Even easier than the driver's side. Put that over here. Straight up. Feels like there's just one more. There we go. Off and loose. We don't need to take it completely off, so I'm just going to rest it right there. I do need to pull this part down and slowly peel that back. All right, just so you can see where we are in this and what the instructions look like, I'm on step 4, peeling this stuff back. We're looking for a blue cable. It should be behind all this stuff. And I believe that's it in the back. Let me show you. All right, we've got this blue one all the way in the back. There is a blue one up front. We want the one in the back. Let me figure out which cable I'm attaching to this before I unplug it. All right, I've got the very longest cable provided, and they were nice enough to label these. So passenger seats, looks like this, 2 ends. That's the cable I need. Need to unplug this one. All right, I was smart enough to look at what is replacing this and noticed it has a little release tab. And sure enough, the old blue one also has the very similar release tab. So just gonna match these up. And like so, clipped in. Now we need to kind of hide this in here and clip this back in. I really hope you can see this. As always, this would be a lot easier if I didn't have to film it and not block my shot. So I hope I got that. All right, that one's in. Make sure nobody is pinched in a weird way. Feels good to me. I was right. All we've got to do is hide this cable, snake it up, and then put everything back, basically. So far, this is much easier than I thought. It's just, again, very scary looking, but this trim just basically falls out of place. This, you can see it snaps into that corner, but I will want to hide this up in this little groove. We're gonna run that all the way down. Okay. And then we'll push all this back in. There's a little slot right here and a little push connector. It needs to line up. Oh, I see. That snaps in there, and that one snaps in there. There's 2 clips here, and they both seem to want to slide in at the same time. I'm just struggling to find the angle which will do that. Oh, that was in the wrong spot. That felt a lot smoother. And then peel this weather stripping with your finger. Push that around it. Almost there. Ah, all right. There we go. I felt it move into place. Tuck all that nice and neat. Which way does it go? This way. All right, before I snap this on, we need to plug in the screen and then put it all together. So let me switch you guys back to the other side. All right, here's the other end of this very long cable. I need to eventually route this in a way that it doesn't block any of the dashboard clips. So near the end, oh, there's 3 of them. Oh, there's the 3rd one. That looks more like it. It is 6 little blocks. Okay, connected. Ooh, I'm gonna have to center this carefully. Screen goes like that. I guess I'll just pop this baby on and see if the clips like it or not as is. That doesn't feel right. I can see this foam. I believe this needs to just be touching the dashboard. Keep this in the middle. There we go. Ugh, I moved my cables again. All right, they're good. All right, I'm gonna go to the other side and start pounding this thing into place. I'm hoping that my cable routing was perfect and everybody's just gonna be happy and snap right into place. Feels like it. This corner is not happy. There we go. This is sort of the end cap. I should have put this on last. There we go. Wow. Easier than I thought, guys. Scary, yes. But this isn't too bad at all. And it's basically the same thing, but then we got to do the doors. All right, feels like everybody's snug as a bug. You'd never know I was in there. This is all reversible, by the way. This isn't going to void your warranty. Nothing is destructive here. All right, let's move on to the doors. All right, before we seal this thing up, we're going to be using this little, I don't know, I think it's a wireless sensor that's going to communicate with the doors. We want to use the one that says H. The instructions say to look for something that's not on these. This is a revised model, I guess. So just find the one that has H. The other ones have L and R for left and right. H is the middle. That is going to connect to the only cable that matches, which has these 8 pins. And let's connect them like that. And then this guy gets hidden. What I was confused about is there's one more little pin, and I don't see anywhere in the instructions of what this guy needs to do. So I'm a little lost on that. For now, I'm going to ignore it. But this is supposed to hide in here. Oh, all right. They said to just stash it in this thing, and I didn't think there was enough room, but yeah, there's plenty of room in here. Just tuck it in. Just hide these cables. All right, here we are down by the foot pedals. Just gonna tuck these excess wires back behind this because I got a lot of wires to tuck. And you're gonna take your OBD2 end and plug it into your OBD2 port. However, I have already installed a little extender dude since I've got my T-Sport line in there. For the power, I have this splitter. So it takes this and splits it off into two. Here's the T-Sport line. I was kind of getting sick of this dangling down here. And then when I saw this is going to be sitting here and these cables are going to be showing, I immediately bought this splitter to help hide and manage all these cables. So before we plug this back in, yeah, you've got a male end and a female end. So this, I could have just plugged in my T-Sport line into this. Who knows? I might need to undo this if this doesn't work out and go with that plan. Anyways, but in the meantime, I figured this is going to be way better at hiding these extra cables with the splitter. Right now I need to get all this crap and we're gonna just throw it in here for now. Everybody needs to hide, including you. Get in there. All right, everybody's clipped in, everybody's hidden. That's a lot more flush and less noticeable. There's no pink wires hanging out. All right, let's put this trim part back onto the door side. All right, we're like halfway there, maybe even a little more as far as pieces. Pop this baby back on if I can figure it out. There we go. Before I do this, make sure everybody looks good up here. It looks centered. Oh, I can adjust it a little bit. So if it's not perfectly centered, don't worry, you can slide it into place later. Not sure if I should be worried I don't see anything. All right, back to normal. Everybody's back into place. Time to pop these doors off. I'm going to close my window all the way, just in case. Gives me better grip too. I should be able to just sneak my way back behind these. And there should be a whole bunch of pins on the bottom. Oh, that's the angle right there. I didn't want to block my shot as always. All right, there are cables behind here. We gotta be careful. See if I can show you. So we need to unplug them. Okay, just one cable. Cable number 2. It's off. We got 3 bolts to take this door panel off. You can use the included Allen wrench they gave you, but I just bought this nice socket wrench and I'm gonna use it. These aren't too tight. I feel like this just gives me a little bit more leverage. I have placed a tiny little bench, you can barely see it, underneath the door as they recommended, just in case to kind of help you keep this door off the ground. All right, neighbor, this is not touching. This is millimeters away, but I'm going to put this here anyways, since it is so close. All right, so we need to peel this baby off. I'm pulling out my own prying tool kit I just bought. Since I've been doing all these installs, I've been needing a better pry tool set. They came in from the interior of the door frame. I don't know what to get behind here. to see if I can do the rest by hand. I know these snaps are back there. There we go. Okay, so there's this blue snap right here. If you can get behind that and start prying, those blue ones are strong. Oh, I see more of them. Yeah, I don't know if you could do this with just the orange prying bar they gave you. Oh, this blue one's not out all the way. I will put a link in the description below with the prying set I'm using. So far, I'm pretty impressed with it. It's the first time using it. All right, baby, we are almost there. Feels like it's about to show me what I need. Ooh, I just heard something fall. These fell out. Not sure where they go. Figure that out later. Let's see what we got. Here's the inside of the door. There's the blue one. Gonna need both hands. Depress that while you pull out. And then we are just going to tap into this. Upside down. Nice and snug. And then plug that back in. Nice click. This will just be flush against the door. And then this is going to connect to another one of these sensors that this one says L for the left side. Nice click. I guess this guy just dangles in here. This is all padded, so but it could rattle against the other side. I don't know what to do about that. I want to try and pinch it so it can't move and rattle, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. Ooh, all right. Putting the door back on, or the door panel. Pop all these back in. Very easy. Somebody's not lining up down here. Popping it back off. All right, everybody's lined up. Feels like it's all back to normal. My little trash can's upset. I'm sorry, trash can. All right, guys. We're like 66% of the way there. Let's put these bolts back on. And then we're gonna mirror this on the other side. Hopefully, it's a lot easier now that we know what we're doing. We're not done with this door. I forgot we got to put the panel back on the top. Also, as soon as I plug that thing in, we've got stuff on the UI. Very exciting. Oh, so cool. Hope eventually I can customize the color of that Cybertruck on there, because mine's red now. All right, guys, this is upside down. So let's plug these babies back in. Be sure to like and subscribe if you love this content. I'm doing this all for you guys. You are welcome for the making all the mistakes for you so you don't have to. But yeah, so far this isn't too bad. It's just a little scary. I think yep, I did break one of my blue pins. It looks like this needs to hook. We'll do this way. It looks like this side, this right side, hooks down and onto a pin. The others press straight inwards into the door. So keep in mind, there was like a circular pin, and this part of the door, it slipped down and was like resting onto that. So, done. I I tried looking at what these little dudes were for. Could not find out where they went. Somewhere near the top. They didn't seem important enough to need to figure out where they lived. I assume it just routed something. Anyways, couldn't find it. Maybe I'll see it on the right side door. And I broke one tiny little clip of some sort. So hopefully I don't break anything. One of these, not sure where he came out of, but I guess I was a little too rough in one of the areas. So I'll keep these on the side just in case I want to put them back somehow. But I didn't see where they belonged, at least right now. All right, let's go to the passenger side. All right, it's getting warm today, nice and warm. It's been raining the last couple days. Let's finish this off. See what I learned on the other side. I've already started to forget. All right, let's first lower the window all the way. I raised it up just enough so a stool can sit there. All the way down, please. Pry behind here. So many clips. It seems to be better to work your way back and forth instead of trying to swing it out too hard on one angle, because that's what's probably breaking my little pins, is too much force from one side. So kind of go back and forth, try and pull this thing off evenly. There he is. It's that one pin. Damn, I cannot get behind it. There you go. Come on. Let go. Christ. All right, don't forget we've got cables back here we need to release. It's one. Nope, I broke a green pin. Two. So I broke this one. I'm hoping the little kit I bought has a replacement. Let me check. All right, this kit comes with replacement pins, this prying kit. This white one kind of looks like the green one, but it might be a little too fat on the top. No, I don't remember where it went. It's gotta go in there. That might work, so. All right, I'm gonna replace the ones I've broken from this kit, and I'll let you guys know later if it actually worked. But I don't know about these long blue ones. I might just leave it as is for now. See if I can buy those online and swap it out later. I do want to get this broken piece out. Don't want that rattling. Okay. Let's just get these bolts out. The trick was this baby. So, let's get behind these blue pins. That's the way it wants to come off. See if there's anything over here. Yep. So my suggestion is take a look around, see if there's any easy to reach, low-hanging fruit kind of pins. Start with those first. There we go. Got him. That blue pin, man. Those guys are in there. Had one fall out. He belongs right here. All right, I think that's open enough. I'm gonna just try. You've already seen it on the other side, so I'm not too worried about showing you. All right, pins, let's get you guys back in. This needs to hang out just a bit. Make sure everybody's happy. Whoop. Somebody broke over there or fell. I'm gonna take it off right now before it's too late. I don't want any little stragglers floating around in there. Sometimes these blue pins fall out of their slot. There he is. Just a broken one. Luckily, there's so many of them. If you break one or two, you should be good. I should have tapped it in lighter before pushing too hard. Impatient. There we go. Feels like everybody's in. And wait, no. We gotta put the bolts on. What are you guys doing? And the excitement of getting to play around with this interface in just a moment. All right, he needs to go there. He lines up there. We'll see if that replacement pin likes it. It feels like that replacement pin took, but I'm not 100% sure. All right, guys, what are you doing down here? Oh, that blue pin is not lined up. That's what breaks pins. There we go. We are good. I'm gonna turn my accent lights on. Yes, they are working. Ooh, I've got some of that cracking going on. I saw some people post online, they had some cracking. in their LEDs, and I'm starting to see a little bit of it on this side, which is unfortunate. All right, install's done. Let's go inside and poke around. All right, guys, here's a finished look. I actually started recording some of my first impressions. It just turned into some rambling and it wasn't very informative, so I'm going to re-record it now that I understand this thing and its capabilities and what it can do and how. So I wanted to first show you, this is what it looks like to me. I'm 5'6", and I have the steering wheel in the lowest position, and I have my seat up, I don't know, medium-high position, and it just skims the bottom of the screen, but it looks like because of the bezel, it barely even touches the UI. Let me zoom in a little bit. So that's what it looks like to me when I'm driving. Everything's still within reach. This is a 9-inch screen. I assume that's why it's called the C9. But overall, great product. The screen resolution's, I believe, 1980 by 720p. I will correct that if it's not. So great resolution. It's responsive enough. I've had some CarPlay screens that were worse than this, or some hacks that I've seen for getting CarPlay onto a Tesla. This UI is totally acceptable. It is a full-fledged CarPlay. You don't have to like connect your Tesla to a certain website every time you get in. It's just CarPlay. You get inside your Cybertruck, and within a few seconds, your CarPlay has automatically wirelessly connected to this screen. So you set it up once, and then your phone's good to activate that CarPlay every single time you get in. You can, what I really like is use this as a sort of Spotify remote control. So this is playing music, and well, since Spotify account is shared between my Cybertruck and this account, it's basically, I can control it from either the Cybertruck screen or the C9 screen, and I can skip songs. I've got it muted for copyright reasons, but it does work vice versa to control each of these devices with the Spotify account. Aside from that, the biggest advantage is navigation, which I'll get to in a moment. It's just I don't know about you guys, but Tesla navigation, not the best in my opinion. Sometimes it takes some really weird scenic routes when I'd rather not. So real big advantage, you'll be able to choose from, you know, Apple Maps, Waze, whatever app you want that supports CarPlay, you can have it on this screen. What I really appreciate is just underneath the screen here is a slot. This allows the ventilation from behind it to flow right through and still be able to hit your face. So they did not block the airflow, even though this is right here smack dab in the middle of your squircle. So I really appreciate that. I suppose it could be nice if maybe it had a way to extend the height or even a little bit of tilt, but honestly, that's totally fine and acceptable in the position it's at. Who knows, maybe in a future V2 version of the C9, they can add a little bit of, you know, wiggle room to it. I would say after you set this up, which was really easy, by the way, I just swiped down, tapped on the CarPlay button, and then it just simply asked my phone if it wanted to pair with it. It took maybe 10 seconds to set it up. After you set it up, I would say the first thing you should do is go and do the OTA upgrade. That's going to give you an over-the-air upgrade, and you want to make sure this thing is on the latest software. They fix bugs, they add enhancements and features. So I will put a short video on how to do that. It can be a little tricky, so I'll explain that right now. All right, I only know how to do this for the iPhone, so I'm sorry, Android users. But first thing you'll want to do is go to Settings and then General, and then change the name of your phone. So go to Settings, General, About, change your phone name to CAR, C-A-R, all lowercase. Then you're going to go to Settings and Bluetooth, turn your Bluetooth off so it doesn't communicate with the C9 screen or anything else and screw up the hotspot. And then in your hotspot settings, change the password to 1234567 8. You don't have to have maximize compatibility on, but you do need to have this personal hotspot setting screen open while you go to the C9's OTA upgrade screen, and then you tap, upgrade. Have the screen open simultaneously, and that will help them communicate with each other. And you'll see this little green personal hotspot logo indicating that they have connected. I hope that helps. All right, I've enabled the phone hotspot and disabled Bluetooth on that phone. I'm going to swipe down. Again, we have to be in park for this menu to appear. Go to App OTA. Wait for this download to be dark. That will signify that the screen has connected to the hotspot. Tap on download. And there you go. Do not move the car while it's doing this update. And just wait for this to finish. It will reboot itself, and then you're free to go. After you upgrade, just go through these 10 settings and choose what you prefer. Again, it's a little difficult to get into this setting screen unless you are in park. So once you start driving, if you want to change the theme, there is a way, but it's a little trickier than just being in park and changing the theme to whatever you want, or the brightness and lowering it or raising it. I feel like 50 or 60% is totally fine. You don't want it too bright. I already recorded some nice footage showing you the UI and walking through it at night, so I'll show you that right now. All right, this is the sort of default welcome screen while you're parked, and you can tell it's reflecting the information it's grabbing from the OBD port. If I hold my foot on the brake, more information is shown. If I let go, by the way, that the lights came on because they are actually on. So this UI reflects what is actually happening. If I open my driver's side door, it opens on the graphic there. If I close it, it closes. If I use the steering wheel and put on my brights, you can see it's reflected there with the blue icon. If I let go, off it goes. It's pretty much instantaneous and responsive. From this screen, we can swipe down. Going from left to right here, we've got the CarPlay shortcut, a Android Auto, enable or disable Bluetooth. The screen has a small speaker in it, so you can actually increase or decrease the volume. And then there's settings. From here, from left to right, we can change the language, the clock for the time zone. We can choose, is it going to use Bluetooth or built-in speaker? 12-hour time or 24-hour. You could do kilometers per hour or miles per hour. The OTA upgrade is for the over-the-air upgrading. Phone link is for the split screen. Should it show a full CarPlay screen or Android Auto, or should it split it in sort of a 2/3 format? It can change the display. It has a night and a day or an automatic. I prefer dark mode all the time. You can change the brightness. It goes pretty low. I like maybe 50 to 70%. And there are 3 themes. Let me show you these themes right now. Here is theme number 1. Got a shortcut for CarPlay on the left, miles per hour in the center, vehicle on the right. Here is theme number 2. CarPlay shortcut on the left, vehicle in the center, and no kind of speedometer, but more of just the numbers of your miles per hour and a clock on the bottom. And here's theme number 3. I think this is my favorite. Just looks the most kind of futuristic with all the speedometer information. So speedometer on the left, vehicle information in the center, horsepower on the right. Keep in mind with all 3 of these themes, you can use the right hand thumb wheel on your Squircle And if I push it to the left, that shows me this menu in the center. And if I scroll down, that goes through these three, up and down on that scroll wheel, it goes through these three options. And you can go into these options by pushing the right side of the scroll wheel. And now we have our split screen view. So this is a full-fledged CarPlay and Android Auto screen. So it's very responsive as well. Pretty much as any other car I've had that had CarPlay. You can use it for navigation. I know everybody doesn't have the premium connectivity in their vehicle, especially these non-foundationers. So this could be a good option for you if you want to have some other navigation software on your Cybertruck. If I go to my Spotify, I can play music out of the built-in speaker of this. It's a small speaker. Play a little bit. But yeah, it gets the job done, but it's not, as good as the Cybertruck speaker. Obviously, it's just a tiny little speaker. Barely any bass. You can control your Spotify if you're using Spotify in the Cybertruck's UI. You can use this to control Spotify of the Cybertruck, but through this screen, since they're in sync. And if you change a song on the Cybertruck, it shows up on here and vice versa. So it's kind of like having a little Spotify controller. You can get back to the car settings from here. Tap on car, and there you go. All right, let me get started on my commute, and I want to show you some of this screen while the vehicle is in motion. All right, here's some nice POV. Tried to position this in a way that is representative of what I see through my own eyes. What I really like is, again, just being able to see my speedometer information right there in front of me. Just like a Model X, if you've got one of those with the screen in the center. If I put on my turn signal, I've got my turn signal right there on the screen. I like being able to see those just pop up. So if I use the scroll wheel here and push it to the left, now I can scroll through this menu. This is how you can get to the settings while driving. And if I activate CarPlay by pushing this scroll wheel to the right, or is it the left? There we go, it's the right. Now I've got CarPlay going. By the way, keep in mind you can navigate CarPlay with the right scroll wheel. However, it could interfere with these new FSD personalities like Hurry and Chill. So keep that in mind. You might just want to scroll instead on the screen. All right, zoom you in a little bit. I feel like this is probably what most of you will be interested in getting this for, is being able to use Waze and other navigation apps while you're driving. So right now I've got FSD doing its thing, but I've also got Waze open on the CarPlay screen. That way I can keep an eye out on traffic patterns, any police, any hazards, all that useful information that Waze has that Tesla might not necessarily be able to convey to you on their maps. So very useful to have the option of other navigation software on your Cybertruck. Here's a view showing the sort of multi-screen capability of CarPlay, just kind of breaking things up into multiple tiles. I really like this view. It kind of gives you a little bit of everything that's pertinent to you. All right, guys, that about does it for this video. If you want to pick up your own C9 screen, link as always in the description below. Don't forget to use RedKnave20. It's going to save you up to 30% off through this holiday season. It is not going to get any cheaper than that. And right now, Test Studio is the only people selling this screen for the Cybertruck. So take advantage while you can. They're going to fly off the shelves like hotcakes. Overall, my thoughts on this device, it's really great. I did kind of miss CarPlay when I moved over to a Tesla. I was in a Mazda 3 at the time, and then I moved over to an Ioniq 5, and both of them had CarPlay. I was really scared of losing that when I got the Cybertruck. Overall, the install, not too difficult. Once you kind of get the panels start to pop off, you get the feel of it, and you're like, okay, this is just a bunch of pins. I just need to get underneath them, pop them off, and then put it back after I plug in a couple cables. It's not that difficult. It's just very intimidating, I would say. It's a little scary, as I kept saying throughout the video. But overall, like, everything's back in. I bet you most people can't even tell that I took these door panels off. It's just so easy to pop these off. This is what the trucks are meant to be. They're modular. If a piece breaks, they pop it off, they pop a new one on. So nothing here was terribly destructive aside from a couple pins that I may have broke in the doors. But those are so tiny, and they felt very redundant because there's so many pins in here that if you break 2 or 3 pins, no biggie. It's still going to hold on to there, especially with the bolts that are in the door frame. But yeah, I bet anybody can get this done. And if you can't, I'm sure you can find someone in your area, an installer that can get it done for you. But yeah, go pick one up while you can. Until I see you in the next video, be sure to check out, again, in my description, the link to this product and any other Test Studio product I've reviewed. And Redneck 20 is going to save you. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Good ones coming up. See you later.